Hi, if you have ever worked in India, EPF was not optional. Every month, 12% of your salary was deducted and your employer matched it. For resident Indians, this is a disciplined way to save, stable, tax efficient, and mostly hassle free. But the moment when you leave India and become an NRI, everything changes. EPF is no longer just a simple retirement tool. It quietly transforms into an asset that can become complicated if ignored, with tax, compliance, and liquidity considerations that most NRIs do not anticipate. In 2026, understanding how to handle your EPF is not just optional, it is critical. If you are new to this channel, I am CS Keerthana. I am a CMA from UK and sub-registered overseas MFT and CS from India. I live in Dubai, run the consultancy, a firm which is specialized in NRI tax and investing services. Let's dive into the topic. Before that, it's my humble request to share, subscribe this channel because it means a lot for the effort that we are putting to bring such authentic content. The first and most common misconception is that EPF continues exactly as it was when you were in India. It does not. Once you qualify as an NRI, usually after spending more than 182 days abroad in a financial year, your contributions stop because EPF contributions are linked to active employment in India. Your account remains active, interest continues to accrue around 8.25% for FY 2025, but the interest is no longer going to be tax-free in global sense. While EPFO does not deduct tax in India on the interest, most of the countries tax the worldwide income, and if you do not report it, you could face compliance issues there in the country of residence. Another critical nuance is that EPFO does not recognize foreign employment as a valid employment. That means even if you are earning salary abroad, that means EPFO considers you as an unemployed. This distinction plays major role in withdrawal eligibility, and it can actually work in your favor if you understand it correctly. Many NRIs make the mistake of letting EPF sit idle because it feels safe. Government-backed, stable, relatively simple, right? It seems like risk-free way to accumulate money. In reality, however, post-NRI status, EPF carries hidden risk. The interest earned can be taxable abroad, yet most people they do not report it. Currency risk also emerges. Your EPF is denominated in rupees and your lifestyle expenses may be in dollars, pounds, euros, leaving you exposed to rupee depreciation over the time. Liquidity is another concern. EPF is locked often until the age of 58 unless specific withdrawal criteria are met. And the rules evolve continuously. What is allowed today might require additional documentation tomorrow. For an NRI, EPF is rarely the optimal long-term investment. It is better treated as a legacy Indian asset to exit cleanly and redeploy into the instrument which is aligned with your current life and geography. The withdrawal rules as of 2025-26 are clear but often misunderstood. EPF allows withdrawal under unemployment conditions or under permanent settlement abroad. Now see, under unemployment, one can withdraw 75% of the EPF balance after a month of being employed, or the full amount after 2 continuous months of unemployment. Here is critical insight for NRIs. Since EPFO does not recognize foreign employment, NRIs will be technically interpreted and they qualify as unemployed. Many continue to wait for full 2 months of unnecessarily when a faster option is also existing. The permanent settlement abroad route is typically better choice for an NRI. If you can demonstrate that you have migrated abroad permanently through your visa, passport, stamps, residency documents, offer letter, then you can withdraw 100% of EPF immediately. The process involves more scrutiny and documentation, but it is legitimate, easy, allows faster access to your money. For most of the NRIs, this route is preferable because under unemployment is very difficult criteria. Also, if you see the new 2026 rule, they have extended the waiting period to 36 months to encourage continuity. But as an NRI, you can bypass this by filing under permanent settlement category. Taxation is where most NRIs make critical errors. If your total EPF service, including transfers across multiple employers exceeding 5 years, the withdrawal is entirely tax-free in India, covering both your contribution and the interest earned. This is the clean scenario. One that every long-term contributor will aim for. For service under 5 years, tax reduction at source is going to be applied. With PAN linked, TDS is 10%. Without PAN, it can be 30%. For NRI specifically, TDS is 30% unless you apply for DTAA benefits by submitting 10F and tax residency certificate. Now, TDS is not the final tax. So, by filing the tax return in India, you may claim your refunds. Many NRIs also overlook EPS or pension component. For service under 10 years, EPF is paid as lump sum. For over 10 years, no lump sum is available. Instead, scheme certificate is issued where it can be claimed for future pension, typically between 50 to 58. This distinction often catches NRIs by surprise. So when it comes to withdrawal, online methods are now fastest and easy, most reliable. The UAN portal and UMANG app allows NRIs to file claims from anywhere. Once KYC is complete, Aadhaar and PAN is linked, bank account is NRO account, you are good to go. NRE account is not going to be permitted for EPF withdrawal. You need NRO. You also need an Indian mobile number for OTP verification. Without it, online process, it cannot happen. Updating your exit date with the last employer is also essential before filing Form 19 for EPF and 10C for EPS. Processing typically completes in few weeks via NEFT. Partial withdrawals are also being expanded in 2026 through ATM and UPI options, but for most NRIs, online filing for full claim remains the best route. If online withdrawal fails due to KYC issues or OTP verification problem, then offline submission using composite claim form is the fallback. Documents must be attested by the Indian Embassy or authorized officials and mailed to regional EPFO office. It is slower but reliable. One EPF is withdrawn. It is credited to NRO account, not NRE. Repatriation of the fund abroad requires compliance with RBI rules. So a chartered accountant will issue Form 15CB, 15CA must be filed online with the bank. Once completed, the bank can repatriate up to 1 million USD per financial year from your NRO account after taxes without requiring any approval route from RBI. Most of the banks handle this efficiently if the documentation is in order. Skipping or mismanaging this step is a common pitfall, especially for the first time repatriation. Common mistakes among NRIs include leaving multiple EPF accounts unconsolidated, ignoring outdated Aadhaar or PAN details, assuming that EPF is going to be tax-free forever everywhere, treating it like a global retirement plan, action under the belief that it is fine to wait. Each of this mistake can add complexity and paperwork over the time. Delay rarely simplifies EPF management. On the contrary, regulatory scrutiny increases, documentation requirement will multiply, and what was simple in the beginning can become prolonged hassle. So the bottom line is simple. EPF is excellent for Indian residents, but for NRIs, it is primarily a compliance and exit focused asset. Once you move abroad, your EPF stops being a growth vehicle and starts requiring careful handling, multiple compliances. The rule in 2026 may be favorable, particularly under permanent settlement abroad provision, which is allowing you full and immediate withdrawal. Just tap on it. The process is manageable, required documentation is also finite, inaction is risky. If your EPF is idle as an NRI, the smartest approach is to act now, withdraw cleanly, comply fully, and reinvest in the instrument that is matching your global financial strategy. Waiting or ignoring is going to make the process more cumbersome, expensive, risky in the future, and full of headache. I hope you found some value on this content. See you next week with another interesting topic. Till then, don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.